Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Captain Kyle Fraser. I'm the Alpha Company Commander. I'll be briefing you on Operation Bull Run today. Posted is your timeline in your Warno. Gentlemen, orient you to the task organization of keynote for attachments, detachments. We do have one team of ADA, which will be attached to the mortar section, and we do have one squad of engineers, which will be attached with 3rd Platoon. Key weapon systems moved. 2nd Platoon, you will keep your 2 javelins, but 1st and 3rd, go ahead and hand off your javelins to 1 Delta for the remainder of the operation. All right, gentlemen, moving into the area of operation, let me orient you to our AO. Down here to the north, south, east, and west, boxing in our objective. To the north, we have the 8-7 northing. To the south, we have the 8-3 northing. To the east, we have the 2-0 easting. And to the west, we have phase line California in vicinity of the 1-0 easting. Tracing in Box Springs Road to the south, we have Cactus Road from southwest to northeast, and then we have Buena Vista Road from northwest to southeast. Familiarizing to the terrain, key dominant water, we have the Sally Branch Creek to the east, or correction, to the west, with Knock Creek coming to the east. Also, the dominant terrain that we have within the AO is we've got Objective Ant and then Hilltop just to the west, observing the avenues of approach. Key locations for this operation will be attack position Becky, and then friendly locations forward, left, right, rear, reserve. Forward of our location, we will have the reconnaissance elements. To the left, we have 3187 to our north, and to our right, we have Bravo Charlie Company 1187 from our battalion on objectives Bull and Cow. To our rear, we have Delta 1187 setting up a screen line on phase line California. Continuing on, area of interest. Alrighty, gentlemen, CAS. The enemy has 6 Hind-D sorties that they are staging from the southeast. Location is 30 minutes southeast of our objective. Trigger is vehicular movement within their AOR. And their delivery is along Air Avenue of Approach 1, which you see here, handrailing Buena Vista Road. Time on station is at 30 minutes. Artillery, there are 3 82mm mortar systems within the AOR. 2 are located in vicinity of Cactus Road Airfield, and then 1 to the south in vicinity of Objective Cow. The trigger is coalition forces observed in their AOR. Delivery is again by the 82mm mortar. The reserve, they have 1 MIP, which constituted of 3 BMPs at 30 packs. Location is in vicinity of the brigade headquarters. Trigger will be an obstacle breached on either of the 3 objectives in our AOR. Time on station is 25 to 30 minutes along Buena Vista. Delivery again is the 3 BMPs. Continuing on. Area of influence, gentlemen. Key area of influence that we have is through our direct fire to our north and to our south. We have Bravo 187 to our south on objective Bull, and we have 3187 to the north. This will be restrictive for our fires, orienting them from west to east. All right, moving into terrain analysis, gentlemen. All right, obstacles. Existing natural is we've got the Salt Branch Creek system to our west, or from west to east, which will disrupt and canalize our movement at crossing points throughout the AOR. Next is we've got the man-made existing obstacle of Box Springs Road, this LDA will expose our company during any crossings. Also will act as a restrictive fire line between our company and Bravo Company. Lastly, we've got the tactical reinforcing obstacles of the wire and anti-personnel mines in vicinity of Objective Ant. This will require a social breach in order to seize the objective and will have an overall disrupting effect on our forces. Avenues of approach, friendly ground as from west to east, handrailing Box Springs Road, and then continuing due east towards Objective Ant. This will be able to facilitate dismounted 1 platoon in column fire team wedge at 1 to 3K per hour. Mounted along Box Springs Road, can accommodate 1 company in file at 40K. The Air Avenue of Approach will handrail Box Springs Road to the north to facilitate our ADA coverage and also to avoid their ADA capabilities to the southeast. This will facilitate 1 sortie of aviation at 130 knots, no restrictions to their formations. The enemy ground avenue of approach is along Buena Vista. They can accommodate a company in column at 45K or a platoon dismounted at 1 to 3 in column fire team wedge. Enemy air, again, this will this will handrail Buena Vista from southeast to northwest. Again, one sortie at 130 knots, no restrictions to their formations. All right, gentlemen, key terrain. The objective ant is our one key terrain within our AOR. This is the dominant terrain feature which controls all the avenues of approach in Box Springs Road, Cactus Road, as well as Buena Vista Road. The dominant terrain to the west does have observation fields of fire down Box Springs Road, primarily protects against dismounted forces approaching from west to east on objective ant. IV lines, Hill 169, 172 is that primary, which blocks observation from west to east. Also in vicinity of the objective to our south, to our north, and to the east will obscure any movement from enemy counterattack or force repositioning. Observation fields of fire, the MEL, this will be limited by the vegetation, 500 to 800 meters, maximum visibility. This will observe the observed MELs of the 82 millimeters from the enemy forces. Effects on direct fire, again, vegetation will limit the observation, specifically on our attack by fire, support by fire, and tow limitations. We'll need to ensure that whenever we recon or attack by fire and support by fire positions, we can actively affect the objective from those locations. Again, effects on indirect, as same before, limited MEL due to decreased observation. Cover and concealment, there's ample concealment and limited cover. It'll require the use of the IV line, specifically Hilltop 169 and 172 as we approach the objective. The effect for the enemy is they have been dug in for up to 72 hours with minimal overhead. This is advantageous to the enemy because of the prepared defense. Moving into weather and light, gentlemen. Visibility. There's fog in the morning up to 0800, which will facilitate maneuver in the mornings and mask our approach. It will have a degraded effect on our MVGs, minimizing our advantage. Wind is 3 to 5 knots. From northwest to southeast. The effect is minimal, but will allow smoke to billow on the objective. Precipitation, there's no precipitation planned, and there's been none for 7 days. The effect on this is that the creeks will be at a shallow level, minimizing the restrictions within our AOR. Sealing, again, the fog at 08 will have minimal effect on CAS and CCA, specifically with CAS capabilities. Temperature humidity is 90 for the high, 70 for the low at 70% humidity. There will be limited to no thermal crossover. However, this will have degraded morale effects on the enemy for their static forces. Light data, gentlemen, operations starting on 24th through the 27th. BMNT starts at 0550 plus or minus 6 minutes for the operation. EENT at 1900 plus or minus 4. Moonrise at 1956 plus or minus 4 minutes. Moonset 03 plus or minus 3 minutes. The illume starts at 60% and degrades 11% to 49 throughout the operation. All right, gentlemen, A-scope. Areas of interest that we do have hunters and loggers throughout the AO, which have fled the area specifically from the southeast, fleeing to the northwest. In regard to us, we'll have displaced civilians throughout our AOR, which will affect our ROE, and we'll need to make sure that we have capability to send them back to McKenna Mount site for further pushing back to the APOD for dislocated civilians. Structures, there are framed houses which will provide concealment but no cover. However, this will facilitate enemy caches throughout the AOR, specifically if they're retrograding from their position back to the southeast. There is a church which we will set up an NFA, which will restrict our indirect fire capabilities as well as direct fire. Capabilities of governance as well as the security throughout the AOR have fled to Atlanta and the APOD. U.S. forces are the only legitimate forces within the AOR. This will mean that that power vacuum can quickly be reestablished through re-implementing security forces from the APOD and Atlanta. Organizations, there is Rogers Rangers, which is a decentralized paramilitary organization. They will be operating in squad-size squad-size OPs throughout the AOR. With this, we need to make sure, one, that we adjust our ROE for positive identification of forces throughout the AOR. Also, we will be able to use them for human if we can come in contact with them and for further propagation of our IO message. People, we do have the hunters farmers, as mentioned before. They are uneducated and rural. The big thing on this is they have simple needs and concerns. The biggest is security. We do need to, again, as mentioned before, maintain a simple ROE and positive identifications throughout our operation, and also be prepared to send them back to McKenna. The events, we do have the invasion that we are currently combating, and again, the effect are the refugees pushing them back to McKenna Mount site for further push back to the APOD.